So if I come back into this, I logged on with a user that doesn't have access, but that's perfectly fine. If you look at the agent over here, you can see that we have the URL, the key, but down here where we start seeing identifier, typically the identifier would be, you know, a unique identifier, an asset key, etc. So I'm assuming stop ID is the identifier, yeah? And then down the bottom, if you're looking for multiple from the cache size, so you want 20 records from the cache size, typically you would include the identifier in that option, as well as, you know, a timestamp, or I'm assuming if the longitude is going to change, that will allow you to get the 20 records. So the only thing here would be to make sure that you just select the stop ID there and then just apply it. Now, when you come to cache per entity and replace cache, how the cache works is this is storing data that will be rendered and visible on the actual app side of things. So the data coming in here. Because you've specified a cache of 20, and you haven't set cache per entity, you're only ever going to get 20 records, which might be what you're looking for. However, if you want 20 records per stop, then what you do is by ticking this here, and you select that option there, you're essentially going to create 20 per entity for stops. That's how you read the agent piece coming down here. So you got everything else spot on. This is just an extra item here if that is what you're looking for. There are times when you don't need it. You just want 20 records, irrespective of, you know, the unique identifier or the stop ID or the asset ID. However, there are times when you probably do want to have 20 per, you know, stop ID. So just switch that option on there, and that'll help you with the caching pieces. So now, yeah, let's not save the changes. Let's have a look at the data coming now. When we come in here, this was some of the access rights that I had to, let's make sure what access, yes I do, to just reallocate to your user. So how you configured it is correct. So here what you want to do is, let's say live data is coming in for that connector, and then here you just want to scroll down and actually look for your data stream. Now, you may have noticed you have access to a lot of other data streams.
Yeah.
And I explain where those came from and why we gave you access to them. Once you've clicked that, it'll bring in the primary key for you. This bottom option here, you need to select it, and then you can click save. Now, once you've selected that option, now you can actually, you know, pass the live data to this screen. The reason you select this option here is you want to be able to show this data constantly changing on the app without having to refresh the page. So what that means is if I don't tick the live option, I have to press F5 on the page every single time to actually load it. Okay? What the live update piece, so you'll see it keeps changing for the 20 records. So I don't have to, let's just leave the mouse there. I don't have to refresh the page or change the page, etc. It's the one item a few people tend to miss the first time, is they don't check that box or know what that box means, and then when they get to this page, it'll load the first time, but to see the changes you have to press F5 to do that. If you don't want that, you can just go back into the edit on the page data and you just untick that. However, whenever you're connecting to a data stream like you're doing here, it's generally a good thing to tick it, because you don't want to have to press F5 on the page every single time. The point is to get the live data coming through. Okay. Now, there are some data sources where you can't do this. SQL is one of them. So if you create a new connection, so if we go into the app data here and you say, you know what, I actually want to connect to SQL, and you configure all of this, you'll find that when you get to the other side to actually use it, SQL will not have that option for you. So it's not something that every single one
Okay.
of these connection has. It's specific to the connection that we're talking to. Make sense?